What's up, folks? It's your boy Coach Ty, back at you with another one, and I get it. You've been wanting to do your first pull-up or get better at pull-up since you started off in the gym. It's one of the most common goals I used to get while I was personal training. But how do you get better at an exercise that you can't do at all? Well, luckily for you, I've got exactly what you need here in this video. Let's get straight into it. Here we go. In order to get stronger at a particular exercise, you need to train that particular exercise. But if you can't even do the exercise at all, then again, how are you supposed to train said exercise? Well, this leaves the chin up in a very weird place. If you can't do one, then what do? Well, again, I've got progressions for you, a full-on plan that we're gonna lay out to get you to do your first pull-up. But first, as always, we're gonna start with a couple of definitions. First, the pull-up means you have an overhand grip, chin-up means you have an underhand grip. I'd suggest you begin by training the chin-up because the chin-up is the easier variation. Because you have an underhand grip, you get a lot more bicep involvement. So I would suggest starting with the chin-up. From there, we've got two different paths we can take. The band-assisted path and the machine-assisted path, but honestly, both of them have their pros and cons, and you may want to incorporate them both. Let's start off with the banded chin-up. So, a couple of form tips first. Here is how to set up the band, how to loop it across the top of a chin-up bar. And then from there, you want to place your foot into the band, step off of the box. Make sure when you step off of the box, you go straight to a dead hang. Do not pull yourself directly up from the box because this is going to lead to you swinging back and forth, and we don't want that for obvious reasons. From the dead hang, pull until your chin is all the way over the bar, and then you'll extend back down all the way until your elbows are extended. And we want to use a band that gives us just enough assistance to help us train in the 4 to 8 rep range for 2 to 3 sets. We want to train these heavier because we're more focused on strength than we are muscle growth. Now, there is one problem with the band-assisted version, and that is the resistance curve doesn't exactly match the strength curve of the exercise, and this is why people have a big struggle when they try to transition from band assistance to doing them just normally. The band gives you the most help out of the bottom, a medium amount of help in the middle, and very little help at the top. However, the chin-up, the way the strength curve works with a chin-up or a pull-up is the bottom is more difficult. The middle is the most difficult part of the exercise because that's where your joints will hit a 90-degree angle against resistance. I don't want to go too far into this, but anytime there's a 90-degree angle against the resistance, that will be the hardest part of the motion. So just off the chest in a bench press or just out of the bottom of a squat. Same thing with the chin-up. So ideally, we would want assistance that would give us a good amount of help in the bottom, the most help in the middle, and very little help at the top because that will be the easiest part of the exercise. Bands don't exactly do that, and the other problem that we find with bands is progressive overload. As you go along, the, how should I say, the jumps between bands are usually too large. You want to make as small of an increase, or I guess decrease, because we're talking about assistance here, decrease in assistance as we possibly can. Now, with the band, there's usually pretty large jumps in the amount of resistance that you will see from band to band, making it hard to go from band to band, especially over time. So progressive overload can be a challenge. Again, I just wanted to give you the cons of this particular route, but I would still say band assisted is better than doing nothing. And then we've got machine assistance. Now, you might not have this machine in your gym. If you don't, of course, you have to go with band assistance, but the machine it's a good option. It runs into the same issue as the bands with the resistance curve, but I'll come back to that in a second. The good news about the machine is you don't have to worry about the form as much. Now, this is a good and a bad thing. Good thing because you don't have to worry about the form as much. Bad thing because, well, you don't have to worry about the form as much. When you perform a body weight chin-up, you need control over your body. you're not going to develop that using the machine. You'll do a better job of developing that with the band than you will with the machine. However, if you are, I want to choose my words carefully here, if even using the band, a heavy band for assistance, is just too difficult, then the machine will be your best bet to start with. The other benefit of the machine is that you have a better method of progressive overload, which is the weight. You can make small increase or decreases in the weight. I keep getting myself all turned around with this. You can make small decreases in the weight to provide yourself less and less assistance over time, which is more desirable than progressive overload with the band. So that's another check for the machine assisted version. Start with enough assistance to train in the 4 to 8 rep range, roughly 2 to 3 sets. Once you're able to hit 8 reps at a given weight in your following workout, decrease the weight for less assistance, rinse, wash, repeat. Now, back to what I was saying a little bit earlier with the strength curve not being very good, or excuse me, the resistance curve not being very good with the machine is, like I said, on a bodyweight chin-up, the bottom part is moderately difficult, the middle part is the most difficult, and the top is the easiest. The machine provides constant assistance throughout the entire rep, which is not what you want because, again, it doesn't mimic the bodyweight chin-up very well. But it can be good enough, again, to start getting you stronger to move on to more difficult variations over time. But again, just want to give you the pros and cons of everything. Now, once we've gotten comfortable with both of these variations, the band and the machine, next we have heavy negatives. So a heavy negative for a chin-up, essentially you'll hop on a box, grab the chin-up bars, jump up, use your legs to jump up to where your chin is above the bar, and then very slowly lower yourself back down to the starting point. This will most accurately mimic the strength curve of a bodyweight chin-up because it is a bodyweight chin-up. You're just not doing the concentric part of the motion, only the eccentric. And you might know this already, you are stronger on the eccentric part of an exercise than you are on the concentric. So lowering yourself, you'll be stronger there than you are with lifting yourself. Since the problem with the resistance curve evaporates, we then get rapid central nervous system adaptation. So I would say this is the best thing that you can possibly do, but many will not be strong enough to start here. So that's why we started with machine and banded variations. Once you're comfortable with those, try out some heavy negatives. Keep the rep range the same, 4 to 8, 2 to 3 sets per day. Last point on all of this is increasing the size of the involved muscles. So you may have heard of a term called carryover. Carryover is, it's so hot in here. Carryover is the idea that one exercise will have carryover to another, or that one task will have carryover to another. So performing the close grip bench press will make you stronger at the bench press, or doing this stretch will help you squat lower. It seems like, according to the literature, according to the research, the only thing with real, true, blue carryover is muscle size. That's right. For all the natural movement or functional exercise gurus, this is counterintuitive to everything that they believe, but that's what the science says. And me personally, I value what peer-reviewed data says far more than some goofy on Instagram. Well, you know, that's just me. The involved muscles on a chin-up are the lats primarily, the biceps secondarily, and the forearms third. Now, I'm not gonna expand a whole lot on increasing the size of those muscles because this video will get way too long. But if you're curious, you can check out my muscle-specific guides, and I will put my lat, bicep, and forearm muscle guides in the description below if you're curious. But I will expound on the forearms and grip strength just a bit. Now, I've seen in many cases where a person will have very strong lats, probably strong enough to perform a chin-up. However, their hands were simply not strong enough to hold on to a chin-up bar long enough for them to adequately perform the chin-up. So your hands have to be strong enough. So you might want to consider putting in some specific grip work if doing a chin-up or pull-up in the near future is a major goal of yours. This is especially true for the ladies who have roughly half the grip strength that the average man does. This usually won't be a problem for guys, but any ladies watching this who are trying to hit their first chin-up, again, especially you guys, consider grip strength training. When should you finally try performing a chin-up after doing all these exercises for however long? I unfortunately can't give you a hard answer because it depends on a ton of different factors. Some people, it would take a couple of weeks. Some people, a couple of months. Some people, it might even take a year. I cannot give you a hard answer, unfortunately, but I will give you one rule of thumb here, which is you're not trying to test your strength all the time. You want to build strength, not test strength. So I would say don't worry about trying an actual chin-up. Maybe do it once a month, maybe, but no less than once a month. Again, we want to build strength, not test it. That's it for today's video, folks. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please watch 2 more videos. There'll be 2 more videos in the corners for you here momentarily. I am Coach Ty with Muscle Wiki, and I will see you with the next one. Deuces.